Biafra, superstars, media. Biafra. My people, my Biafran people, now on a day, I say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, depending from where you listen to the sound of my voice. This is the Biafra Superstars Media, and I'm holding it down. I say may God bless Biafra, and may God bless His Excellency Oyendo Mazenamdi Kano. May God bless His Excellency, the Prime Minister of the Biafra Republic Government in Exile, His Excellency ESN Ekpa Simon Njoku, for the job Simon is doing. Simon, I want to say we thank you, we appreciate you, we love you, because we know in your hands Biafra is coming, in your hands Biafra is safe, and in your hands when Biafra comes, the people of Biafra will rejoice. My fellow Biafrans, today I want to present to you a man who has taken over my heart, a man who I appreciate the knowledge he has, a man who was a child during the time of the Biafran War, a man who suffered the so-called kwashoko that was given to the children of Biafra, a man who saw firsthand the killing of his mother and his auntie during the Biafran War. I present to you a man who will be sharing this platform with me going forward, because the more he speaks to the people of Biafra, the more the anxiety, the stress, the trauma of the war is relieved. I present to you the Biafran Golden Child, the real Biafran Golden Child. Thank you.
Yeah, good morning, or good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are. You know, this is the voice of the Biafran Golden Child. And once again, I thank the Biafra Superstar Media for this opportunity again to address my fellow Igbo brothers and my fellow, Biafran brothers. It's all over the news now, the newspapers, the radio, that President Bola Tinubu will be celebrating, marking his 1 year in office on the 29th of this month. So that there will be a massive celebration. He has called on governors and the ministers to bring their scorecards so that Nigerians can see what they have achieved. But I'm asking these salient questions. What is President Tinubu hoping to achieve? What has he achieved in 1 year? What is his scorecard? Is it the hardship all over the country? I mean, this is a man who came in and the first thing he removed was oil subsidy and put Nigerians in perpetual confusion, agony, and poverty. Everybody has been in a position of poverty and lack. Families can no longer feed. In fact, 2 square meals is a luxury. A lot of people now are either drinking garri with salt. Of course, where can you buy sugar? Who will give you sugar? Even the garri is out of reach. Garri is out of reach of the common man now. Those days, families can manage Indomie. They can manage 1, 2, 3, 4 Indomies and eat. Indomie is out of the reach of the common man now. A carton of Indomie, the normal pack that went for barely 3,000, 2,008 is now close to 9,000, 10,000. Who can afford it? Most families are hungry. Rice is over 90,000 a bag. A lot of families are eating, they eat rice now only on Sundays. Even that Sundays, you buy 1 Dereka cup or whatever. Is this what President Tinubu is celebrating? Hardship all over the country. A lot of families have been disintegrated because the family cannot meet up. A lot of marriages have crumbled because some of these wives, some of these children cannot bear with the mega thing being provided by the father or the parents. And so a lot of problems everywhere. So what are we celebrating? Hardship? Subsidies removal? Is it the kidnapping all over the country? You're going by public transport, now you'll be kidnapped. You're going by private transport, you'll be kidnapped all over this country. It's not about the Boko Haram anymore. It's not about the militias anymore. Now everybody is a kidnapper. Armed robbers have moved from armed robbery and they become kidnappers because it's giving them much more money. Unfortunately, the government is not doing anything about it. How many kidnappers have been arrested? These kidnap monies, ransoms are paid through banks. Through banks, nobody, and they say they did BVN, they did this, they did that. Eh? Who is collecting this money? What is President Bola Ahmed Tinubu celebrating? Is it the massive corruption in the country? People are making away with huge quantum amount of money, running to trillions. A lot of ministers cannot account for trillions. Eh? Dubious people everywhere, governors, commissioners, ministers, even within the presidency, special advisors, everybody is corrupt, moving monumental money out of the common purse for Nigerians. And you say you're celebrating. What are you celebrating? Is it the nepotism? Is it the nepotism in the country? Tinubu appointed all key players, all key organizations are headed by Yorubas. His cronies, his brothers. Finance, Yoruba, CBN, Yoruba, NMPC, every chief of defense staff, Yoruba, Yoruba everywhere. Is this what we are celebrating? When former President Buhari was doing his own, we thought, okay, let this Hausa man go and rest. Let us have a change. I mean, this gentleman said, the Milocon is my turn. I'm ready. I want to serve. Is my turn. We didn't know he's still going to flood the place with his brothers, with his cronies. Yeah, Nigeria is now virtually a Yoruba country. If you can't get anything powerful, you can't get anything important except you know a powerful Yoruba man. It's so unfortunate. What are we celebrating in this country? Is it the unprecedented inflation? Inflation everywhere. Every commodity has changed. Price of onions, price of salt, price of sugar, price of rice, price of yam. Yam tubers that used to go for 1,000. You can't buy it now for 7,000. You can't buy it for 5,000 naira. You buy a yam of 5,000 naira, you cut it for a family of 2, 3. The children won't eat round. It won't even go round. Before you know it, it's exhausted, children are hungry. I mean, is this massive inflation that we're celebrating? What are we celebrating? What 1 year are we celebrating? Is it the dollar rise that has taken over this country? Yeah. Before the end of June, now dollar will be selling to 2,000 to a naira. I mean, where are we headed to? 2,000 to a naira. Even under President Buhari, it used to be lesser. This was dollars those days when our parents were going to school. Yeah, a dollar you buy it for less than 60 naira, 60 naira to a dollar, 60 kobo to a dollar. But now dollar is 2,000 to a naira, and these dollars are carefully given only to those who matter, to their cronies, so that they will be bidding on it, selling on it, and impoverishing the people more. What are we celebrating in this country? Is it a labor unrest? Every other day, there's a threat of strike upon strike. Every other day, labor is threatening to strike, except workers' money is improved. Labor is threatening to strike, except welfare people are considered. I mean, where are we headed to? What are we celebrating? Every other day, there's insecurity in the land. Insecurity, people are dying, killing, maiming themselves. It has even gone into our institutions of higher learning. Even in secondary schools now, children are killing themselves, bullying themselves. Every other place there's insecurity. You do a transaction with somebody, they kill you so that they can have all the money. What are we celebrating in 1 year of Tinubu, President Ahmed Tinubu? Is it the destruction of thousands of houses? People's hard-earned sweat? People's hard-earned sweat? Is that what we're talking about? Yeah? Is that what we're talking about? People's homes are being destroyed. People's businesses are being brought down on flimsy excuses. And the so-called ministers for housing are celebrating it. Eh? What are we talking about? What are we celebrating? Millions of houses have been brought down. Even currently now, there's a threat that 10,000 houses will be brought down in Festac. 10,000 houses owned by people who have worked hard-earned money over the years, and you bring it down without qualms, without any care, with alacrity. What are we celebrating? What are we celebrating in 1 year of President Ahmed Tinubu? What are we celebrating? It's very unfortunate. The President Ahmed Tinubu all through this 1 year has been traveling here and there, several foreign trips. We never saw whatever. He's looking for the elusive investor. He wants somebody to come and invest in this country. We've not seen any investor. Every time he's traveling, jetting out of this country with entourage, packing his SAs, his advisors, moving with some ministers. I mean, where has he taken this country to? What are we celebrating in 1 year of President Ahmed Tinubu? Which investors have come in? There's mass suicide in the country. Every day, people are killing themselves. There was a story of a lady who they said was working in a bank. She couldn't meet up with her targets and she was laid off. She drove her car onto a bridge and jumped into the lagoon. Before the fishermen could get her, she had died. Several people are killing themselves, shooting themselves because of financial difficulties. What are we celebrating? Eh? Is it distortion of families? Most families can no longer cope because the breadwinner cannot do much. And all the hatred, everything has turned against the person. I mean, where are we starting from? Where are we starting from? Tinubu has killed this country. You want to celebrate 1 year. 1 year of unprecedented hardship. Eh? Economic collapse from all indexes. Everything in this country is in comatose. Nothing is moving forward. All the manufacturing companies have left this country because they could not cope with the power. Every other day, there's story about NEPA. If they are not increasing tariff, if they are not putting in band A, if they are not putting in band B, every other day is stories. Meanwhile, this is the first thing. Power is the first thing a country should have because that is the basis for being a country. I mean, how can somebody survive in a country without power? Manufacturing companies need their machines, their plants to work with power. People will buy diesel, people will buy fuel. I mean, that is not even available at exorbitant prices. Where are we headed? And you are celebrating 1 year. People should be at home. It's celebration time. What are we celebrating in 1 year? My dear brothers and sisters, the truth. Somebody should tell President Bola Ahmed the truth. The truth is that what he has is a stolen mandate. It was never his turn. He said, Emilokan, it's my turn. It was never his turn. The people of Nigeria had decided after President Muhammadu Buhari in the 2023 election that they wanted a change. They wanted a meaningful leadership. They wanted genuine leadership. They wanted genuine democracy. And the INEC raised our hopes when they brought in digitalized system of voting. Told everybody now this is flawless. With this one, there's no manipulation. Nobody can cheat. Nobody can change figures. You don't vote twice. Nobody can manipulate any results. And the Nigerians, being gullible as we are, we believe them. We believed INEC. There was sensitization everywhere, mass mobilization everywhere. INEC. This 2023 election is the final, is the ultimate. It is the mother of all elections, and we expected so much. Unfortunately, like an elephant that was pregnant, an elephant was pregnant, and when it delivered a rat. That is what the INEC did to this country. INEC killed this country. An elephant that was pregnant delivered a rat. What a shame. What a shame. The people's mandate was stolen, manipulated by INEC. We all saw the results. I voted in that election. I know what was counted in my ward. Everybody knew Labour Party was on top. Everybody wanted change. It didn't matter whether P2B was an Igbo man. It didn't matter whether he was from Anambra State. It didn't matter whether he was a Christian. But P2B was on the vanguard of winning. He was always winning. He was almost winning. All of a sudden, there was manipulations everywhere. All of a sudden, results started tumbling. Numbers started tumbling. All of a sudden, INEC started manufacturing numbers here and there. Everything changed. Where we were hearing labor. All of a sudden, it became APC. Everything that Labour worked hard for. Everything that Labour earned from Nigerians. Because Nigerians felt enough was enough. They wanted to give P2B the chance. Let's give this Igbo man the chance. Let us test him. Let us see what he can do. I mean, power has been in the north, Hausa Fulani, for several years. Several times as head of states, as civilian presidents. It has gone to the west, the Yoruba, severally, as head of state, as civilian president. Let us give this Igbo man a chance. It doesn't matter whether he's from Anambra State. It doesn't matter whether he's an Igbo man. Let us give him a chance because he represents what we can see, we can feel. He has told us he's going to change this country. His businesses are moving. He's not dependent on government. He had been a governor in this country, the only governor that the EFCC cannot find a fault with. EFCC introduced about 56 names of corrupt ex-governors, ex-leaders that were corrupt, that had cases. P2B's name was not there. He had never eaten government money. He had not stolen anything. So people were yearning for a change, and they felt this was the time. But what happened? What happened? All of a sudden, INEC did his abracadabra. It's magic. INEC brought magicians into the host, like what Fela would say, government magic. Late Fela Anikulapo Kuti. He said government magic. Government magic was brought in. And all of a sudden, the whole numbers tumbled. All of a sudden, Peter Obi did not even come number one. He didn't get number two. He was thrown into abysmal number three. What a shame. And all from nowhere, they said it is the man who said it is my turn, Emilio Con, it is my turn. They brought him out and swore him and brought him and inaugurated him that he's now the president of this country. And he had the boldness to look at everybody in the face and say, yes, I got it. It's my mandate. You like it or not, you better follow me. And the first thing he did on swearing in day, the first blessing he gave to Nigerians was to tell them the subsidy is removed. Subsidy of oil is removed. And the hardship started. So what is President Bola Ahmed celebrating? What are we celebrating? I think Igbo should rise up. Igbo should rise up. Every Igbo man should learn from this. Unfortunately, Nigeria has no good plans for us. Unfortunately, Nigeria is not a place to live. Aburobo Bibi, we need our own land. We should fight vigorously for the release of Nnamdi Kanu. We should fight vigorously so that Biafra can be achieved. We should fight vigorously for the Igbo man to have his own voice, his own place, and his own country. That is the only way we can avoid this rubbish. I mean, our mandate, people's mandate was stolen right before our eyes. The international community was watching. Nobody said anything. They called the election the fairest and freest election. And yet, at the very last minute, at the time that mattered most, INEC truncated the people's ambition, the people's desire, the people's desire for change. INEC killed the opportunity for the people to determine the fate of their country, unfortunately. But there are lessons for it. INEC has killed people's interest in elections. You might not realize what has happened. It is when you call for future elections, you see what will happen. You discover that a lot of people will no longer come out and stay in the sun. I mean, why will I go to the sun in the rain to go and queue up to vote when my vote will not count? Oh my God. INEC has killed this country. I know it's because of money. I know massive corruption. They have been settled. This is a government of settlement. Yes, 1 year now. I mean, the government of settlement, and they'll keep settling. But woe betide that person. Woe betide that person who was used to truncate the people's ambition, the people's yearning for change. Unfortunately, President Ahmed Bola Tinubu is sitting on a stolen mandate. Nothing good can come from evil. Nothing righteous can come from unrighteousness. Nothing can come from stealing. It's a stolen mandate. So what are we celebrating? We celebrate thievery, thuggery, corruption, massive corruption. That's what we are celebrating. Gangsterism, nepotism. Only his brothers that he trusted will be in a helm of affairs. I mean, what else are we expecting from an armed robber, from a thief? Unfortunately, the international community were silent. When America could have helped us, when this man's records were there, that there was time he was into drugs, he had issues related to drugs. Issues related, America, come out and say it. Tell us whether this man went to University of Chicago or Chicago State University. They hid everything. And last minute, they crippled the people's ambition because they refused to speak when they should have spoken. And when they spoke, they had been settled. They gave a very fake evaluation of who the man sitting there, the man they called Asiwaju Ahmed Tinubu. And so the courts ruled to his favor. Our dear brother, Peter Obi, was thrown out like a child without mother and father, like a bastard child. But there's still a hope. we are hoping, God willing, let Nnamdi Kanu be released. We should clamor for his release. Let him come out. Let Simon Ekpa, our prime minister, let them all come, team up, and bring a realization of this Biafran nation, so that we will avoid this kind of thuggery, thievery, manipulations of people's votes. Biafra is our destiny. On Biafra, I stand. Thank you very much.
Thank you, our brother Biafran Golden Child. I mean, from your analysis, I'm just finding out that you were one of those that voted for Peter Obi. We call him here the London boy, Peter Obi. But I hope you have learned from your experience voting for Peter Obi that the zoo, the contraption, Peter Obi was only used in a way to get the Biafrans into the election. But most of us, we said no. But since you said you voted for him, I hope you have learned from that experience that way is not the way. Biafra Buebano. I am now glad you have also come back on fold. Because when you reached to me and told me your story, I was happy to have you on board. So I am glad you are now back home. I am glad you have learned from your mistakes. I'm glad you have learned from your actions and inactions. And I'm glad you know now that Nigeria election is not the way. I'm glad. Your story was very touching, because some people thought we were the ones that were the problem. They called us the problem. They said, Simon Ekpa is the problem. He wants to stop Peter Obi from becoming the president. Oh my God, this is the time for them to win election and rule Nigeria. They never knew Britain was very, very smart. Britain is the owner of Nigeria and they know the game they were playing. They brought Peter Obi. They asked the London boy to come to London and have that discussion in a way to cajole the more than 80 million Biafrans into the election. But we are glad that most of us, we stood firm and tall and said we'll not get involved in the election. And for those that, did their voting, I know now you have all learned from your mistakes. You saw what happened in Lagos. Peter Obi is relaxing, but those who have business in Lagos, their businesses have been burned down. Those who have homes in Lagos, their homes have been broken down. Those who have livelihood, they have shattered your dream in Lagos. So I'm glad, some of you learned the hard way, but I hope going forward, you guys will not make the mistake again. This is not just for you, but for those as well who voted for Peter Obi. But I'm here for you to speak your story, say it the way it is. I appreciate you. My fellow Biafrans, I will keep it here, and I will end it here. From me, from here, for now, I want to say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. I remain yours truly, Biafra, Superstars Media. God bless you. Bye-bye.
Yeah, Biafra is the freedom. Yeah, Biafra, let it be known. We're here for the throne. Biafra, we're going home. Yeah. Mazi and Nnamdi Kanu, Mazi is Simon Ekpa, Prime Minister Biafra. You know he does it better. I'm looking all strapped up in this game, Biafra soldier. Let my name be known, nigga. I'm the soldier. Yeah. I'm fighting for liberation. I'm fighting for the people. I'm fighting for my freedom. Yeah. We fight for Biafra. Let it be known, cause we're straight from Africa. Yeah, the black nation, the creation of God. I am the lion, it's taking it hard. We're fighting for the freedom.